I wake up, check my clock, and see that I only have 10 minutes to get ready before I have to get to work. I still haven't taken a shower, gotten dressed, eaten breakfast, fed my dog, or even filled the car with gas before starting my 20-minute commute in traffic. Now my mind starts racing as I realize that I'm not able to give each responsibility the time it is due to function properly. And as it turns out, I'm not the only person who has ever felt this way. I've talked to my friends, I've talked to my family, and they've shared with me ways to not only fight this stress, but ways to prevent it and ways to prepare for it. So today, I will inform you on the stress students face as they grow up, causes of that stress, and methods to alleviate how overwhelming that stress can be. Firstly, students face many forms of stress as they grow up, such as peer pressure and demanding workloads from academic courses. According to a 2018 article published by edutopia.org, the stress that students experience can either go back down to normal and they can resume whatever they were doing, or it will leave the students in a fixated state where they are constantly dealing with that stress, unable to really let it go. For me, for example, right, some courses that I've taken I've passed, others I've failed, and often when I'm studying in the present for a course, these feelings of doubt and this stress that I felt when I failed the course will resurface and affect me to where I feel stressed again. Now, specifically with peer pressure and demanding workloads, they affected me greatly, especially in high school, when I surrounded myself with other people who also, took on these difficult courses and who only took on these difficult courses, and it felt very trapped inside. Now, stress is not only experienced in the school, but also outside of it, especially when you're with your family, or even if you're just doing an extracurricular activity. Another form that stress can take is if you're not keeping a consistent diet, or if you're not sleeping well. So now that you know some of the forms that stress can take, it's important to realize and understand what causes it. Secondly, stress is caused by a variety of factors, especially depending on the age of the individual. According to a March 2022 webpage from Mind.org, one may feel stressed if they are feeling under lots of pressure, are facing a big life challenge, or simply worried something, or even a combination of all these three. For example, since my attempt to try and become a United States Marine, I've incorporated more stress into my life than I really thought about, right? I've had to overcome physical challenges, the pain that comes with that, as well as the fact that my training includes being away from my family for about 3 months, which is very difficult, right? And I'm also afraid that if I fail, I'm not living up to the potential that is inside of me. That's all stressful for me. That's what I'm feeling all the time. And as the article states, dealing with stressors individually is easier than when they are combined. And often it's not the event itself that causes the stress, but actually an individual's confidence in whether or not they can overcome that stressful event. So because stress is so prevalent, it's everywhere in our lives, it's important to know how to combat it so that its presence isn't always weighing us down. If we can predict that it's going to come, then we can best prepare ourselves for it. Lastly, fortunately, there are solutions to the challenges of being stressed, right? It's now time that we discuss the methods to overcome it. According to a 2021 webpage from mayoclinic.org, activities such as exercising, eating a healthy diet, getting enough sleep, and even seeking counseling can all contribute to relieving stress. Now, with counseling, it doesn't have to be with a licensed individual. Depending on the problem that you're having, you can simply go to a friend or a family member, especially one that's older than you because they have more experience. So, and because they're older than you, they've likely gone through a lot of the problems that you're facing, right? And after talking with them, as you may have found before and can draw experience from, your outlook and perspective on the problem that is causing you such stress will have changed, and as a result, you'll feel less stressed. So in conclusion, stress is a common occurrence in our everyday life, right? Students face much stress as they grow up, And that stress is caused by a variety of factors. Fortunately, there are many methods that we can incorporate, that we could use, that we can research, and really bring into our lives to eliminate the stress. And if we can't eliminate it, to at least reduce it to a manageable level so it's not so overwhelming and overbearing. So now that you've heard some of this advice about how to deal with stress, I encourage you to not only help out those around you, but be on the lookout for somebody who's really affected, because